Ever considered the vulnerability of still water?
I've been sitting out here for maybe an hour or so now. I was feeling very, very depressed. I still am feeling depressed. Just tired of feeling like I have to force things with my work and my business. It just doesn't feel natural. Just haven't been too happy lately. But I understand that I won't always be happy. And that's okay. It's okay to go through the motions of life. What's most important is just being present in each moment. Being really present in each moment. And that's my goal, is to enjoy this process. But it's a lot easier said than done. But I can be present and just take things one moment at a time. There's a lot of things that have to be done, but in the true fashion of being present in this moment, right now, I'm sitting outside near the water, near this grandfather cypress tree, and I've been grounding myself, touching my belly and sending some healing vibes and energy through to this fetus growing inside of me, this little baby with a heartbeat. Massaging my chest and my lungs because my heart and my lungs have been hurting and sore. So being here right now, that's what's most important. I really do appreciate Jeremy and him just talking to me and encouraging me, because I'm used to being the person to do that. I'm not really used to being motivated and having those pep talks, or really needing that. So it's nice to have that come in, and I know that we're gonna get through this together. And I'm grateful for his face is breaking out so bad. I've been picking at it, which I have to stop. I have been washing it, but I don't know why it's breaking out so bad. But yeah, I need to just drink more water, stay hydrated. I've been kind of constipated, so I need to just up my water intake and just keep doing the best that I can.
I have been feeling emotionally overwhelmed. We're in week 7 now. I started having extreme doubts. Like, do I want to have this baby? Because I've been facing myself and my fears when it comes to love and relationships very, very heavy. And I've been addressing things within my relationship. I was called selfish and inconsiderate and just a lot of things that I feel in part are not me, but also in part I do feel like it's me. I don't feel like I'm inconsiderate because I've made a lot of choices in my life where I didn't consider myself and how I felt. I considered everybody else's feelings and disregarded my own. Selfish, yes, because now for once, I want to think about myself. I know there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But there's parts of compatibility that makes a relationship so much easier. And I know that these are things that we can grow to do. But I have to grow as well. And what I have to grow into is to be able to love in partnership, receive help, receive knowledge, receive information, and to be able to give love and give nurturing to my partner, and most importantly to myself. For years, when I got into a relationship, I stopped considering my own needs. I stopped doing the things that is most pleasurable for me and most joyful for me as I became deeper involved in a relationship. And that's not healthy. And I realized I can't blame that on my partner. That is on me. I have to be able to do those things. Just simple things like waking up early, just feeling the sun on my skin, rising with the sun, and singing and dancing with the birds and the early risers. Being in nature. Eating food that is not only delicious but very nutritional for my body. Foods that give life to my body. These are the things that I have to do. Physical exercise is required for me to keep a nice balance with my mind, because when I don't move and exert myself physically, my mind starts to move way faster than my body, and that creates a lot of stress and a lot of mental imbalances that I can't have if I plan to live this life. These are things that I would hope for my partner to have as well. But regardless of if they do or don't, I have to continue with these things because this is what I need. And it would be wonderful to have that in my relationship. And for me to say that it's not required is me lying to my heart. And I can't do that anymore. I have to do what I have to do. So all of these things just made me feel like, am I ready for this? Am I ready to be committed to this person for the next 18 years that this child is growing? 20 years, 25 years. Am I ready for that? And I realized that as long as I am operating in my sovereignty and being very careful about doing the things and being who I know that I am, I'm ready for anything. But I had my doubts, and I started bleeding, just light spot and brown color blood, nothing dripping, just I could see it on the tissue. And I went to the emergency room yesterday, and they said that it's common in the first trimester. My cervix is still closed. The baby's heart rate is up now. Last week when I went, the baby's heart rate was 105 beats per minute. Now we're at 142. So the baby is getting stronger. I have to keep pushing. I have to continue to do what I know that I have to do. No matter how selfish it may look, no matter how self-centered it may look, I have to do this. I have to continue to love and give love. Continue to be understanding and work to be more understanding. Work to see a higher perspective, but to also be true to myself, because that's the most important thing. I don't want to feel like I'm losing myself in exchange for a relationship, because then the relationship is not for me. I'm working on myself. I'm working on my partnership. It's not all glitter and gold and rainbows, but it is real. It is real. So, once again, these dreams have been coming to me like someone is trying to kidnap me, kidnap my baby, just take away my family and things that don't belong to them. And I feel like this is something prevalent, a prevalent fear through my lineage. Having things taken away, having your identity stripped away. So, I gotta keep my identity with me. I gotta safeguard my identity. I gotta be true to who I am, no matter what. No matter what. And everything will be okay. So we are in week 8 now. I had my first appointment with the OBGYN, and it was very emotional. So the hospital that I had been going to, because I went to the emergency room twice. The first time because I was cramping really bad, and the second time is because I started spotting. So each time that I went to the emergency room, they did the whole protocol. So they did a pelvic exam, took blood, did an ultrasound. And I was not able to see the ultrasound. So the first time, the lady had the monitor right here in front of her, and I was laying down, so my head was further back, so I wasn't able to see anything. The second time, I was very scared that I was miscarrying, and the monitor was visible for me to see, but I just didn't look because I just didn't want to look and just see something that just sent me over the top emotionally, because I was afraid that I was miscarrying. When I got to my OBGYN appointment today at 8 weeks, the doctor's just telling me everything that she's going to do, but she didn't mention an ultrasound. So I asked if I was going to have an ultrasound, and she said no, because I had had 2 already, referring to the ones from the emergency room. So basically, I just put 2 and 2 together because, of course, she didn't explain it to me, or she made it seem like it's something that I wouldn't understand on my end. My doctor's office is contracted with the hospital that I went to for the emergency room. So because I went twice and they did 2 ultrasounds, those covered my ultrasounds that I would get if I was at my OBGYN appointment. So she's like, I already had 2, so they're not going to do another one until 21 weeks. 21 weeks. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. That's a long time. I just broke down crying, and she's like, why are you crying? So I explained to her that I went to the emergency room because I didn't know if I was miscarrying, and I still don't know if I'm miscarrying today. So both times I went to the emergency room, they did the ultrasound so that they could see what they needed to see. It wasn't to share anything with me. I didn't see a sonogram. I saw nothing. So I was expecting to get an ultrasound at this appointment so that I could see the baby and just know, be rest assured that the baby is okay. So for you to tell me that I have to wait now 21 weeks, like, it's just not good to hear. My grandmother just passed. My great-grandmother, my mom's grandmother, she just transitioned a couple of days ago. So we're actually traveling to South Carolina today for her funeral, which is tomorrow. And when we get back, I'll just work on scheduling an ultrasound. I don't know if I want to know the baby's gender before the baby is born. I really want to have a girl, but I just don't want to get like all of my hopes set on that. So I don't know, I might just wait until I deliver to find out, but who knows, I might change my mind later. But when I was at the doctor's office, she did use a Doppler to listen to the baby's heartbeat. So I was happy for that. The baby's heartbeat is now at 165 beats per minute. So that just made me happy, joyful. I cried again. I'm just like, thank you, thank you. But I just felt like there was no compassion, but whatever. She did also try to convince me to get vaccinated because she says that the CDC recommends that pregnant women get vaccinated because we have a lower immune system. But it doesn't make sense that the vaccination is not approved for children 12 and under, but they want the unborn to be exposed to it. So as she was talking, it was just like wop, 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 wop. Like, all I can see is that this lady does not care about my baby. And she was a black doctor, and I had a black nurse practitioner as well, which was good, you know, just to see a black face and have a black doctor. But at the end of the day, if they're not doing everything in their power for the nutrition and the health of the baby, then it's really not for me. So my friend did get me in touch with a birthing center here in Orlando because I feel like that's just the best thing for me to do, because I need to have a professional with a different perspective than most of these healthcare providers. I just need to have that on my side because I don't want to feel like I'm fighting against everybody for the safety of my baby. But other than that, it was a pretty good visit. I did have to give a lot of blood because they have to check to see if I have the sickle cell trait, because my mom did tell me I have the trait. So they have to just be sure to see if I have the trait, so then we can see if my partner has the trait and just go from there. I'm happy that the baby is getting stronger. Like, that's the only thing that really matters to me, because honestly, I was so afraid that I was miscarrying. Even though I know anything can happen, I was just so afraid that that's what was happening that I just didn't want to get too attached. So my due date is April 13th. I'm going to have an Aries baby, and I love Aries. My two closest friends are both Aries. I have a lot of Aries friends, actually. And my spirit animal is the hawk, which is the Aries Native American zodiac or spirit animal, the hawk. So I feel like it's very fitting for the baby's name to mean joy in some way, because not just because of that, like being an Aries and fire and the beginning of the year, but also because of the springtime, and I feel joy. It just, the springtime represents like joy for me, and also because I feel like I'm getting more in tune and in touch with what's joyful in my life through this pregnancy. My dreams have been crazy vivid dreams, and because I have to pee a lot, I wake up in the middle of the night after a very vivid dream to go pee, and then I'm just up. So I'm up very early in the morning, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4. I'm always up by 6 o'clock every morning. And I feel like that's a good thing too, because like my aunt says, I butterfly early in the morning while you're just getting started. And I am a morning person, and I do feel it's necessary for me to be up in the morning early to get my day started and to start my routine. So I am going to beef up my immune system and just make sure I'm staying on top of that. Eating more fruits and vegetables and drinking water. She told me I need to drink 8 to 12 bottles of water a day, which is really a lot. because one bottle is 16.9 ounces, so one bottle is like 17 ounces. It's 128 ounces in a gallon, so do the math. That's a lot, but I'm going to drink as many as I can, and we'll just see how that goes. I have been craving sweets a lot more lately. I've been eating Rice Krispie treats. So I'm trying to just eat more fruit so that I'm not, that's how I can get my sugar intake as opposed to just eating like things that are not good for me. So I'm definitely going to continue to eat more fresh fruit. And my friend made some Jamaican stew peas and rice, and I just remember how much I love beans. So I'm definitely going to up my bean intake as well. So yeah, that's the 8-week check-in. I haven't been feeling as emotional lately, but I have been kind of stressed, honestly, just when it comes to just finding my passions again and moving in passion with my business, and not just having a goal to just make money, but to be passionate about what I'm doing so that the money can really flow to me. And I've been kind of stressed about that because bills, they don't stop. And I don't want to get caught up in this capitalism and just really stressing about paying bills and making money. And Jeremy doesn't want me to either, but I just don't want it all to be on him. So I decided that I'm going to apply for the New Leaders Council, the NLC, just as an opportunity to network, to work, do a lot more deeper work on my business and my projects, and to just get myself really like pushed into that energy and out of my comfort zone, because that's what I feel the most like. I have to step out of my comfort zone. Like, it's time now. So I have to write a couple of essays for the application. It's due Tuesday, so this weekend I'm going to be working on that. Mainly Sunday and Monday I'm going to do most of the work for that and submit my application and just prepare myself for this new phase. So I'll check back in soon.